Hey guys, Mr. Johnny here. In this video I'm gonna do an assembly on this mess that you saw in the previous video. A soldering station that I purchased from eBay from a rather nice seller again, because the tips, the cartridges that I bought from him is rather. I bought for $2 a pop, additional 3. One comes with the kit, t12K, but you can choose which one will come to you depending on what you like personally. But again, the price on the tips has surprised me much. As you can see, it surprised me so much that I purchased 3 more. Normally I'm a cheap ass and I won't buy anything additionally to it, but yeah, you know that kind of thing. It's called impulsive purchases. Many people argue they are the best, but whether they are or not, oh well. So let's start with the case, because this seems to be the easiest part so far. We pop it apart. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna install the bits and bobs to it. IEC socket. I'm gonna just go and plug it in into the. I'm gonna put it this way into the cutout. Just press it in and it pops in there very nicely. It does wobble a little bit, but that's what the hot glue is for. There is also this DC barrel jack, which comes with a nut, so we can do that. Can insert it from this. Oh, you can see it is not a round shape, it is flat here, so you should align it with this hole, otherwise it won't fit unless you put it right way around. You can put it this way or 180 degrees like that. Yeah, I'm gonna put it this way. Then go and put the nut on the other side. Tighten it, and you will be all set. You don't need to tighten it a lot, just good enough. So that's the back panel complete. Front panel. Well, the front panel so far I'm gonna put only the rocker switch. Oh, it's wrong way around, because you can see off is here, on is here. I should really align it like this. Well, although it does fit in the hole, it does that just a bit too snug to my liking. So I'm gonna go and shave a little bit off, just a tiny bit, with the X-Acto knife. Yes, I'm cutting towards my thumb. So what? If I'm gonna injure myself on video, maybe I'll get more views. Hahaha. You're the king of jokes, Johnny. No, I'm not, obviously. It's a sarcasm. Sarcasm. Now. It's still pretty snug, but the switch, by the way, is main threaded switch. So you can and should put it on the main side. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this. It's quite inconvenient to show everything on camera, so maybe I will skip some parts to save your time and to save my fingers from being cut. Oh, much better. We press it in, and we're in like flame. There we go. That's a nice clunking switch. I do like rocker switches. I do not like slider switches because they just wear out rather fast and become flaky. These are very nice. And they remain quite good after long periods of time because the contacts in them made like that, without sliding motion which wears them out. Here, everything else is really gonna be, you take the nut from this encoder. Oh wow, it also comes with a washer. You install it like that with a nut. Of course, before you do that, it will make sense to put the socket through this side actually, back the nut on it, and only then put the board in and solder the connector on this side. The kit, as you saw previously, comes with this light filter, which is a blue filter, which is unfortunate for me because the color I picked of this display, is green. It's not a huge deal for me, honestly, because in a pitch I can use this electrical tape to be a light filter, or I can go and find that piece of packaging plastic that I grabbed hold of. That packaging plastic, I saw it and I knew that I'm gonna use it one day for a light filter on a 7-segment display. To put you in this perspective, that plastic is green to start with, and it is textured. It is somewhat textured like this case, so it will be a diffused light. Long story short, the display will look quite jazzy through it, so that's that. And obviously, before installing this board, it will make sense to insert an LED there, which will poke through this hole. These are all traps for young players, as Dave likes to call it. And you can see that the board is very small, and if you're gonna install it here, you see a huge empty space there, in which you can easily put in a power supply. So the thing is gonna be self-contained. Oh, Johnny, you muppet. Like that. Lots of space. Well, enough space. This connector does eat some, but we still do have about 8 centimeters in wide and about the same long. That's pretty good. I think I can whack in a little switch more power supplies to fit in there. The output will be 24 volts, rated for 3 amps. Alright, so let's now do some soldering. Oh, I just decided to show some soldering for shits and giggles. And actually I tried this solder already that I included in the parcel, and I have to say it is surprisingly good actually. It flows really well. It's not a paid promotion, it just, I'm telling you what it is. It flows really well. They did not solder the tabs on the encoder though, for some reason, as you can see. So I'm gonna use them to show you how well it flows. But before I do that, you can see the LED installed there, and the Soldering there is nice, funny, nice and dandy. Fun and dandy, but anyway. Let me just probably zoom in very much. That's the best zoom there can be. Gonna clean the tip with help of shavings. That kind of sponge, brass sponge. Put a little bit of solder on the tip, so we have a nice thermal contact to the workpiece. Try to hit the pad and the tab at the same time. Feed solder. And it's done. I'm gonna zoom out and just bring you close so you will see how the joint looks like. As you can see, it's nice and shiny, so it's definitely leaded solder. I have nothing bad to say about that. Reasonable solder. It's not the best, but it's not the crappiest as well. I'm gonna call it this way. Decent. Solder I'm using creates the same kind of joints. So I'm happy with that. It's not worse. Fantastic. I'm satisfied. So yeah. But now I'm gonna go and just solder cable to the connector. You have to do that according to instructions. So I just prepped this end a bit. You can see. Gonna twist the strands together tightly. And I'm also gonna go and use the rosin they provided to tin the ends of this cable. Just because I can. They also provided me with heat shrink. So I can go and use that to insulate the connections, but so far, soldering, you just saw a bit of soldering, it's enough, no need to see more, really. Or if you really do like this kind of long, boring videos where I babble and make your ears melt because of my perfect speech capabilities, let me know. So, long story short, let's just try to tin. Well, it's kind of the best test is to smell it. It smells nice. I kid you not. It smells just like the pine forest. So it's pretty much a clean rosin, no additives to it. Smokes quite good, and the smoke is pleasant. Really, it's not incredibly strong. I kid you not, it really does smell well. Now let's see how well it tins. I used the black wire there. Submerged that wire into the rosin. Let's see, will it tin? Easily. Let me show you the result. The wire has tinned. As you can see, hopefully. It's nice and shiny. It is evenly tinned. And I have to say I'm pretty satisfied. The rosin I have here does not perform not nearly as well, but this rosin has something like a wax to it. The good thing about this rosin is, although you really shouldn't do it this way, you can just go and do the soldering this way. Plonk it there and then solder something on the board. The wax or whatever is there makes it so it doesn't burn off instantly. So you do have some short time to reach the item you're soldering. Of course, it's much better way to put the flux on board, or like I did, submerge the wire in the molten rosin, so you have rosin there on the actual wire, then come in with the solder and do your typical tinning, and the result is very nice. Okay, I tinned all the wires using that rosin and that solder, and that's that. Yes, I do realize that I may sound like incredibly satisfied with this cheap stuff, but the thing is that I'm not as picky when it comes to the tools and equipment and stuff like that as some big YouTubers are. I do not judge the stuff by its price. I judge it by its performance. This rosin works fine. That's why I say that it is a decent flux. So does this solder. That's why I say it works fine. Because it does. Just that. So now I'm gonna go and do a little joint here. Connect there. Oh, damn it. The diagram is on the actual, and it's on the phone I'm filming with, so... Oh well. You saw that it solders just fine. That's enough for soldering. I'm gonna show you some other stuff later. I will definitely have to go and find the plastic there, because I won't be able to put it in there later. I need to glue it on there. Then I'm gonna put the board. I already fixed the socket there, as you can see, and the LED. So if I'm gonna do that, you see that the socket, the lugs on them, the cup terminals to be correct, protrude through the board and can be soldered there. But that will happen only when I'm gonna put the light filter there. Another funny thing is that this recess has been milled out. I can see the traces of a mill. I hope you can see it, because it definitely looks like it's been milled. See that? Okay, remember I told you that I have a piece of packaging plastic that I want to use as a light filter, because the display here is green, not blue. That's that piece. It was from a screwdriver. From this screwdriver. This side is boring, right? But this side is textured. I don't know if the camera will focus on it. Probably won't. There we go, see? It is textured and it is green. One side is smooth, other is a bit rough. But that's fine. It will look very nice. I'm gonna now go and peel away a little bit. Cut the necessary amount and it will look just fine. Now the question is, should I put it glossy side outside towards me or towards the innards? I think I'm gonna put the glossy side towards the insides. So that's what I'm gonna use for a light filter. It is very nice. Let me shine a light through it. You can see kinda interesting diffusion effect. That's what I'm after. So I trimmed the piece out and I think it looks lovely. That's the shiny side out. It is a bit glary, although the brightness of the display is quite intense, so I won't have a problem seeing that even in the when it's glaring right now. So if it's gonna be installed the textured side to the outside, it's gonna look a bit different. It doesn't glare now, does it? It does have a bit weaker effect now. It doesn't seem to be I can see the lettering very easily. Maybe I need to put two on top of each other. Let me do that. So that's with two on top of each other, much better. I was after the effect that I don't want to see the digits when it's off. Yes, the digits are still visible a little bit, but that's much better. I think it looks lovely. Here I have a laptop power brick connected, and without the iron installed it shows 500. It is very nicely diffused. It looks much better in real life than it does on camera. Somewhat like this, you can see. I do like how it looks. It's not afraid of any glares because the surface is textured. You can see it from any angle. I like it. Now let's connect the iron and see what will happen. Okay, so I'm gonna use the t12K tip. This blade, I'm gonna just go and do this. You cannot. It holds reasonably well in there, but I'm gonna put it here anyway. Tighten it up. Now it's nice and sturdy. Now I'm gonna turn it on. It is preset to about, so you can see when I turn it on. It is preset to about 280 degrees, as you saw. Let's turn it on and see. Gonna put a bit of solder on the tip, so we will see when it becomes hot. Like that. Okay. Commutation. It's melting solder already. How about that? It did not take long, did it? Nice. And it reaches the temperature and it stays there. The reading does jump for a while, but they tell me actually that it's normal for the reading to jump around for a while because the tip is new. It needs to be burnt in, they say. And I really saw other YouTubers on the Russian segment who built these kind of stations, and it was the temperature was fluctuating a lot when the tips were new, and as they burnt in, as they say, it stabilized already. I don't really care about this jumping about. If the tip remains hot, I'm happy with that. You can see you can change the temperature. We're gonna keep it on to 80 degrees. Now let me grab something with a big thermal mass, like a motherboard. Like that motherboard I showed in my previous videos about the VS induction heated iron. Let's see. Get the hell out of here, you stupid fly. Alright. It does do it, although not very not very well. It's 280 degrees to start with, so let me increase it to 320 degrees. That's what my station was set to. The phone ran out of memory before I knew it, but 320 degrees there. Let's put a bit of solder on it. It's not the best tip for the job. Yeah, it's a bit... It does do it, but it's a bit sluggish. Yes, here we go. Here, as you can see, it's molten pretty good. Yeah, so far it's not all that better, but that is because I'm powering it from 19 volts, and the rated power is obtained when the scene is at is at 24 volts, which it is not at the moment. But let me get a thermocouple. We will measure the temperature. It's set to about 290 degrees. Okay, the scene is in. The reading is really stable now. Let's see what the temperature is. Holy Schmidt. Really? That's a lot. 340 degrees. You can calibrate it with a trim pot, but another disadvantage of these things are that you obviously have multiple tips, right? And if you have that, you also have the different heaters, different thermocouples, which are not created equal. So if you will calibrate it for one scene, it will be inaccurate for the other tip as well. And see that? It went down to 200 degrees. It went to sleep. It's enough for me to just pick it up and see, it hits back up. That's a sleep function to be short. I do like the sleep function, it is quite nice. It is really cold here, so if you want you can grab it right here and solder some tiny stuff. Here it's hot, but here reasonably you can go and solder like that, because right now it is quite a long piece, longer than 900M. Not a whole lot, but it is. But if you grab it here, it will be shorter than 900M. And it obviously is hot, as you can see. And I can grab it like that. And by the way, whenever the vibration switch activates, you will see a little decimal point blinking there after the first digit. So that's that. I'm gonna play around with it for a while and tell you how do I feel about it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. See ya.